What it do, Buck fans? You already know it is Bucks Report Wednesday action, the aftermath. Yeah, I know it ain't Monday, but this is a wild Willie Wednesday because we got a lot of things to break down. We done seen a lot of shit. It's your boy AJ Turn Up always, and then we got my man Slick, the British guy who always stays fly. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm pretty good. I'm finally glad to just be thinking a little bit more Bucks ball, but yeah, I'm mid-season right now, so that's why we've had to move to the Wednesday. So we want to thank everyone just for being a bit patient with us. It might be a couple of Wednesdays, it might not be. We'll just see how things go, but we'll ride with the punches. Aftermath will come every week.
Yes, and I got you on IG Live on my fan base, guys. Slick, tell him where they can find you because this guy also is a football coach, so he knows the game. Not only that, he's played in it and he's doing the damn thing. So please show your support for Slick because this guy is out here doing it and he knows his shit. And he's a hell of a defensive guy, defensive minded. I would love to join forces with him one day. We'd have a squad because everybody in my offense. You're going to be tough and nitty and gritty, or if you got speed, you just run it. So, yes, Slick, please tell my audience where they can find you on Instagram, on Twitter, and please let them know.
I don't even know what my Twitter handle is, but if you look, Coach Slick is pretty much everything else that I'm on, or Stevie Slick Probert is usually that's part of my name. It's usually where you can find me on Facebook. Anyone wants to just ask me a question about anything, whether it be Bucks related or even just football related, I'm more than happy to answer when I get a chance.
There it is. He's the magician. Coach Slick knows the trick. There it is.
Boss, I know. Hanging around with me, just dropping the.
And I always drop these. I drop gems. Look, like my coach. My kids on the team, they be like, man, Coach AJ, stay coming with them gems. I'm like, yeah, I got a bag full of gems. I carry these gems too. But yes. All right, but Buck fans out here, you are in for a treat. We have so much shit to talk about because not only it's just so much going on. I love this time of year, Buck fans, because now we're getting closer and closer to seeing.
My God, today is insane. Like just from signing to Mike Evans to what we're seeing with Holdings and shit. And
wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, wait. Was that Jeff Daniels? Hold on. We got Jeff Daniels in the house tonight, y'all. Wait a minute. Y'all didn't know Jeff Daniels was a Bucs fan. He's an undercover Bucs fan. Hold on. You gonna come back? All right. Look, when Jeff Daniels get back on here, guys, we'll let you know. But we got to get this out of here. We're gonna finally just lay this shit to rest because Slick and I both, we're not just talking from fans. We're talking because we love the game of football. We know it. We study it. And for people out there, I'm not here to say if you never played. It's not about if you never played football. So we're going to get that out the way because I'm not like those players that can talk about analysts. If you have studied the game and know it, you can know the game and never played it. But for you souls out there who just listens to social media, for you souls out there who only watches one player, for you souls out there who truly don't understand, football is a system. It takes a team to be great. Great players can be great individually, but for the most part, being one great player is not going to get you far. With that being said, there was a tweet where some guy, and I wish I knew him. I wish I had his IP address, so I wouldn't do that. I just want to go over and have an actual show and talk to him. They said, name a player that you can't just see the hype about. They had our boy Mike Evans on there. The disrespect. First of all, I want to ask you, and we're going to put this out there. If anybody can answer this, come on up. How many quarterbacks has Mike Evans gone through his entire career? Okay, more than that. Was the team that he was on a popular team? Did he get the recognition? How many primetime games was Mike Evans on before Brady got to the Bucs? That's another thing. Guys, look at statistically. He is going to be up there with Randy Moss and Jerry Rice as the only receiver in NFL history over 100 years that he has 10,000 yard seasons, 10,000 yards within 9 seasons. Do you understand how historically great that is? There are a lot of receivers. I'll give it to you. Calvin Johnson, Andre Johnson, your favorite Devontae Adams, your Odell Beckhams that you love, your Antonio Browns, your Michael Irvins, all those people. Oh, Torrey Holt, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, all those players that I just mentioned, a lot of them are in the Hall of Fame or they have Hall of Fame type numbers. They didn't do the shit that Mike Evans did.
Mike Evans is, as far as I can tell, looking at this stats, he's in his 9th year and he has the most receiving yards in football of any actual player. Oh, sorry, you got DeAndre Hopkins is above him. That's it.
And exactly, but again, DeAndre Hopkins hasn't done that. So, fans, stop looking at the media. They don't always tell you everything. These guys, a lot of them are programmed and paid to tell a certain narrative. Narratives can make or break. Sometimes false narratives changes the history. You know why? You know who else from the Buccaneers organization has gone through this, but he's going to get his flowers eventually because it's too much thanks to Brady and them? Lavonte David went through the same shit. Remember how we all thought people thought Kuechly was better and then realized, wait a minute, the only reason Kuechly looks like that is because Kuechly had Cam Newton on his team, so that meant more primetime games. That meant more social media coverage. That means national coverage.
Where is he now?
Where is he now? He had to quit, and God bless him for health reasons. Kuechly, if you're seeing this, I really hope that you are fine now.
He's a great footballer. For his generation, he's of that linebacker. There were a few linebackers, and he's one of them. Lavonte David's in that conversation. Mario Davis is in that conversation as well. Bobby Wagner's definitely in that conversation. There were a couple of, and the problem is when you're giving out all pros, sometimes there's just a little thing that they don't like about this one, and popularity can come into it. You know, we know that.
Popularity, and then if your team is some shit, they're not going to pay attention. And especially if you're on a, let's be real, Buck fans, we know this. We've been through the dark ages where we're the yucking-ears, the sucking-ears. A lot of that shit's still the narrative of the Bucs for the most part is they're the losing team that started 0-26. They had the nasty creamsicle colors, which them shits is fire. So fuck y'all out there who thinks that otherwise. But here's the thing. That's not football. Because among Lavonte David and Mike Evans' peers, they are deemed as that guy. And let's give a special shout. The reason why I talked about Lavonte, because now people are seeing, oh, wow, look at his numbers. Wow, he surpasses Luke Kuechly now. He surpasses Bobby Wagner. People forget Bobby Wagner. I like Bobby, but I don't think, who do you think was on that squad that was the legit thing? It was the Legion of fucking Boom guys. He had Earl Thomas. He had Chancellor. Right there. Oh, and people also forget he had Michael Bennett, who came from Tampa. He had a squad. So the pressure wasn't on him to make plays by himself. Lavonte did that shit by himself, basically.
He also had a really good linebacker next to him. I just can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Oh, you talking about Averill?
No, you're thinking Cliff Averill. I'm trying to think of the other guy's name. Give me a moment, I'll find out.
Yeah. Oh, and then again, let's go to the corners. Browner, who basically was another safety in the corner's body. Then a corner in the safety body. I'm sorry. Then you had Richard Sherman. Oh yeah, and then also they had the great Marshawn Lynch on offense. So their defense didn't always they could get rest, and they have Russell Wilson when he was doing his thing. So guys, a team can make and break your squad. If you have one side of the team that's so awful and your other team is working harder, the other side of the team is working harder, you have to give props where it is. And let's go back to Mike Evans. Do you and I have the big utmost respect.
AJ Wright, I was thinking of.
What's up, AJ Wright? That's right.
KJ Wright, yeah.
KJ Wright, that's right. KJ Wright, that's right. So, guys, as you can see, it takes a team. Lavonte did that when McCoy was doing it by himself. If anything, Lavonte and McCoy really need their flowers for what they did. When Bennett was there, he was on the come up, but by the time Bennett got to the Legion of Boom, he was in his prime years. Guys, a lot of people don't realize that's what it takes a team when you're – and again, the Legion of Boom was popular. All those people I just mentioned were far more popular and had more coverage than the Buccaneers.
A very good defensive coach.
Very good defensive coaches, and they had a very marketable team. Nobody gave a shit about the Bucs after Gruden was gone, and that happens. But let's get back to Mike Evans. Statistically speaking, this man does the damn thing. He comes through no matter what. I'm going to give you quarterbacks. Since guys out there, if you know the game, these are his quarterbacks that he had to work with. Josh McCown. Next. Mike Glennon. Next. Ryan Fitzpatrick. Okay, no, let's go to Jameis Winston. Then Ryan Fitzpatrick. Then you had Brady for a few years. But let's be real. Brady, everybody knows Brady isn't the type where...
2 good years with Brady. 2 good years with Brady.
Yeah. And Brady is not the type where he forces it. So everybody was getting fed.
So for sure. That's what in fact, his numbers weren't as good. His touchdown numbers were better. His touchdown numbers were better because they used him as a red zone threat. Exactly. But his actual yardage was not as good. His best year probably came from the Jameis Winston years, in all fairness.
They did. His best year, he had over 1,500 yards with Jameis Winston. And this is my point for you guys out there. If you don't understand the game of football, most of the greatest receivers had one quarterback to throw to. And if they had another quarterback, they were just as good or up there. Jerry Rice had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. He had arguably the greatest quarterback of all time in Joe Montana. Then he had, you ever heard of Steve Young? Cool. Okay, Michael Irvin had numbers. Troy Aikman. Enough said.
This is why we have to give kudos, and I just want to jump in here.
Please. Go ahead.
We're preaching the good stuff, so here's the preaching the good stuff.
That's right.
When we look at a wide receiver, Steve Smith. Is Steve Smith an extremely talented wide receiver? Yes. Why is he so exciting? Well, other than the fact that his yards stack and his touchdowns stack and he had longevity in his career,
that's right.
He didn't play with an elite quarterback. So he was elite. He was the reason the quarterback got his. DeAndre Hopkins. Is DeAndre Hopkins a product of being around good talent, or is he a product? And sometimes, and I'll get to this person in a minute, or is he a product of just how talented he is? And I'd say he's a product of how talented he is.
That's right.
Now, here's the one that might split the difference. You have other guys, such as Julio Jones, had a very good quarterback for a very long time. MVP. It happens. Now, there's a new guy that's in this conversation who I do believe is on the talent. And I'm not taking anything away from Julio Jones. He's clearly fucking talented. Mm-hmm. My point being is life is a little bit easier when your quarterback is extremely good.
Yes, amen.
Now we got Davante Adams. Davante Adams left. We all saw what he could do when he had a subpar. Well, I mean, I'm not saying he's a subpar quarterback, but he's not Aaron Rodgers. Nope, and he still got the job done. Tyreek Hill has come into his own. He's not a product anymore of just thing. And that's how you build how great you are. Like Andre Johnson. Who did he play with for most of his career?
Schaub. He played with Schaub for most of his career.
Brandon Marshall, Jay Cutler.
Now, don't get me wrong. Jay Cutler was fired his first couple of years.
But he was more of a Jameis Winston type of quarterback. He was prone, but he was a gunslinger, right? He was that kind of gunslinger mentality guy.
Absolutely.
And this is where you look at, when a guy's only been with an elite quarterback, it's difficult to turn around. We know they're talented. There's a reason.
Yep.
But it's hard. Once you take them away from the talent, are they still talented? And can they still get that job done? Maybe if you took Michael Irvin away and you stuck him in Minnesota, or you stuck Chris Carter's elite because who did he play with?
Yeah, he played with Randall Cunningham. He played with Dante Culpepper. Here
we go.
And he had Moss. And he had Moss on the other end.
Chad Johnson.
Yep.
So now we're going to get to a conversation where we're looking at some of these other wide receivers who are still with stacked people, a stacked quarterback. So the guys in Cincy. Are they a product? I'm not saying they're not talented. They clearly are. But we don't actually know until you take them out. It's the whole Schrodinger's box thing is the cat dead? You don't know if he's actually more talented. Can he still get the job done if you put him with Jameis Winston?
Facts.
We don't know because we've never seen it. We can surmount based on his we can surmount based on his ability.
That's
we don't actually know until you see it. It's like when people christen quarterbacks that have just got drafted that they're the best. Like if they were to rank the quarterbacks in the division now, there are some people put in I'm trying to remember who's the guy in. I'm terrible with names. Who's the guy who got drafted from to Carolina?
To Carolina, the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bryant or something.
Bryce Young?
Yeah. No, it's not Bryant. I forgot his name, Bryant, but the 5'10" guy. That's what I'm gonna call him.
Yeah,
The 5'10"
okay.
guy.
So he's second pick of the draft, the first pick of the draft.
Yep.
Great for him. He's already been stacked better than Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
One of them's never thrown an NFL pass. You don't, and I'm not saying he is or he isn't, but until the proof will be in the play. It always is. The proof is in the season. If he has a better season than Baker, then yeah, you can have that argument because they're both going into a new system.
Mm-hmm.
One out of college, so it's going to be a little bit more advanced for the other person. If he outplays Baker with the talent that they have in Carolina, he's a better quarterback that year.
Yep.
I think people just take away that don't really look at the real product on the field. Steve Largent, who did he play with?
I agree. I understand.
Hall of Fame dude. This is the difference.
That's right. It's the difference. And then you have to, I got two great examples because again, it's narrative and popularity. Calvin Johnson. People forgive Calvin because he left early, but people cut him slack because he still was putting up numbers with the average quarterback in Stafford. And Stafford always threw to him. Now that's another example. I'll give you a great example. Randy Moss. We know Randy was the man in Minnesota his first years. What happened when he went to Oakland Raiders? Was he sorry? Absolutely not. He didn't have a quarterback to throw to him. What happened when he went to New England with Brady? History. Again, guys, and again, you guys, a lot of people like Calvin and Randy a lot more. They loved Randy because he was very flamboyant. He was very emotional. We love Calvin because of his Georgia Tech days. Again, we knew what he could do with less talent.
He's a freak.
And personally, I have met Calvin because he was on my cousin. Shout out to Rashawn Grant. He played with Georgia Tech, and he played in the aside with Calvin. And Calvin is one of the most humblest human beings you can ever meet. But my point is, the narrative is where it's at. See, only reason Evans had a little bit of hype is because of Johnny Football and Manziel. And the funny thing is, Mike Evans made Johnny Manziel, not the other way around. And that's what I'm trying to break down to you guys. And you know what another thing is, for most elite receivers, the coordinator forces the ball to them so they can get those numbers too. Devontae Adams in Green Bay was always forced the ball, which was a gift and a curse because eventually when it was crunch time, everybody knew you guard him. Look at who Aaron tried to throw to in the NFC Championship when he could have tried to run it, even though Devin White would have killed him. But he could have thrown it somewhere else, but he threw it directly to Devontae, and he had three people on him. Hell, if he would have lobbed it, that would have been a pick six. So guys, it's always about systems too. When you have a system that's designed to feed the elite receiver, your numbers are typically going to be up. And here's another difference. You got guys, there are guys who are for stats and there are guys who are for championships and big moments. Let's go back to the 2020 Bucs season. Mike Evans in the playoffs was a dog. He made catches in Washington. And then let's not forget how he caught the pass in the divisional round over Marshawn Lattimore, his nemesis. And Marshawn was in his feelings so bad, he tried to shove him off. Let's not forget, Mike Evans showed up the first damn series against the Green Bay Packers. He scored a touchdown. Let's not forget, in the Super Bowl, he had the longest receiving yards in the game. Those are champions. That's what champions do. They don't give a shit about the stats. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'll give you another example. Who would you rather say overall had the better career, Adrian Peterson or Marshawn Lynch? That Adrian Peterson was that guy that was exciting, but when crunch time came, he folded. He did it in the NFC title. Every time when it was crunch time, everybody knew how to stop him. Marshawn Lynch, you couldn't stop beast mode. Beast mode got rings. Beast mode
you can stop him. All you have to do is throw the ball in the end zone instead of handing it to him when you see.
Yeah. So again, guys, for you haters out there on Mike Evans, if you don't know football, just say it and watch the game. I watched all other receivers. As you can see, me and Slick gave you perfect examples of people that are deemed one of the greatest receivers. Evans is like that. Unfortunately, I do think that Evans is not going to get his full flowers until he is out of the game, but that's going to help him in his case because Slick says it best. If let's say he has 3 more seasons and he gets 1,000 yards for the rest of those seasons, he will literally own the record. I don't see anyone catching up to him for a while. I say I give it like 7 to 8 years.
Did you hear what he said today?
What's up?
He said he never had so much separation before.
Man,
and he's loving Canales' scheme, dude.
I bet he does. It's this. I have a lot of faith in Canales.
And welcome, Johnny Dean.
Yeah, welcome, Johnny Dean.
Yeah,
First of all,
how's it going, guys?
Thank you, Johnny. We would, and I was gonna bring this in.
He was mid-rap. I couldn't stop him, Johnny.
Sorry. As much as we all fuck the Saints every day, but there's one Saint that I got to give him his props. My man,
Cameron Jordan. The right way, man. Come on. I can't listen to you say that word, man. It's Taints.
Okay, the Taints. The Taints player, Cam Jordan, gave Mike Evans his flowers. He told the social media, basically, in a nutshell, y'all don't know what the hell you're talking about. This guy is Mr. Consistent. I'm telling you, Mike Evans to me is the Curtis Martin of receivers. He's not always exciting, but he gets the job done. And Curtis Martin is in the Hall of Fame. So that's why I think Mike Evans.
He has some toe drag swag too, buddy.
Yeah, he did. Jeff Daniels, what's up? Long time no see. How you living?
He probably forgot how to
He did a fantastic entrance. He's like, shit, how do I do it?
Hey, fuck Cam Jordan. Mike Evans took his flowers. He don't need nothing given to him. Fuck Cam Jordan and the Poodats.
Look, hey, that'll be the only time you'll hear me say that, but I got to give him some props because you have to. I mean,
Cam Jordan is old as Invisalign having motherfucking ass.
Hey, I don't give him props on a Bucs report show. No.
Hey, Cam Jordan, you have a net worth. You don't need Invisalign. Get some braces, you cheap bastard. And do me a favor. Go over to Jameis's locker and say, hey, man, why them cornrows make you look like Pookie from New Jack City?
Don't do that. No. Damn, poor Jameis. Well, not poor Jameis, because they all got more money than us. But damn, it's so crazy. This is why the NFL is amazing. How you go from being that guy, the chosen one, to the like you can be forgotten as.
Hey, he got Thanos.
Yeah, he did.
Snap.
Yep. Arian said.
Hey, speaking of Thanos, I think we're on the 6-year anniversary of Chris Conte getting planted at the 40-yard line of Raymond James Stadium by the Pittsburgh Steelers. So congratulations, Chris Conte. Thank you for participating. Hey, the power's out here in North Florida. We had a really bad storm. So I'm literally sitting here on the back porch in the complete darkness on arguably the coolest show ever with at least a couple cool guys. Fuck you, Johnny.
Your camera's actually turned on. It's just that's how it is, right?
It's really dark here. Johnny, what's up with your nickname down there?
Some dickhead put it up there.
It says Richard Headley.
I can't. I'm not even gonna touch that. I'm not gonna touch it.
Johnny,
I was gonna change it, but then I said, "What the fuck? I am a dickhead sometimes." So what the hell?
Hey. So I know. We went over some topics where we put them in the chat earlier today, but that was back when I had power and electricity and internet and Wi-Fi. So what are we talking about?
We were just talking about
how great Mike Evans is and how
sorry
everybody else in the world is.
Hey, dude. Just so we're clear, Blaine Gabbert has more Super Bowl rings than Cam Jordan. William Golston has more Super Bowl rings than Cam Jordan.
That is true. Damn.
Ronald Jones has more Super Bowl rings
we can
than
leave
Cam.
Jones out of this equation.
Oh, okay, we'll leave him out of this. Okay. Byron Leftwich has more Super Bowl rings than Cam Jordan.
Don't we have one with the Steelers too?
Bowl ring.
Yeah.
One is player and one as a coach.
No, don't get
as a head coach. He has the maximum set.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. Like I think for Cam, of course he's a dickhead, but the biggest dickhead on the team to me is Marshawn.
Oh, now you got to start using dickhead a lot because that's
Marshawn Lattimore and Michael Thomas. I'll put it this way: they're the three fucking amigos, bro.
Just before we start anything, just remember there was a player that fucking died, come back to life, and is at training camp right now. Well, fucking Michael Thomas is nursing his fucking ankle.
His name is not Michael Thomas. He old slant boy. That's what his name is.
That's slant boy. But I will say that maybe Alvin Kamara has him beat. Beat like assault. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I hear you. No, I hear you. No, I hear you. No, the Saints just have a lot of shit on their team, and the way they got a lot of drama. No, but I look at it like this. We talking about this Evans thing. When people get on Twitter and just say stupid shit, that's when I get frustrated, because then I go, okay, you don't play the game, you don't know it. If you don't know the game, just say that. Well, you watch your only team. I do not, dumbass. I watch everybody. Slick and I just talked about Steve Smith. That was our arch rival. We know great talent when we see it.
Hey, let's be honest, man. If you're arguing with somebody and they come back with some shit like, oh, you don't know the game, what they're saying is, I don't have an answer to what you just said. Besides, you don't know the game. It's kind of like, oh, you don't understand how it is. Dude, here's what I understand. I understand, Cam Jordan, that you wear Invisaligns. Dude, hey, bro, you got so many fucking zeros on the right side of the decimal point, and you still are so insecure. You got to be like, oh, I got a tooth that's a millimeter up. I got to wear my Invisalign sign. Then you get on a show without and forgot you had him on. I was talking about, hi. Dude, Cam, you're a hell of a football player. But the shit you do in the media, dude, your mom is embarrassed, bro. Okay?
True. Now, I like that. Let's all be real and ask this question: who would get in first, Mike Evans or Cam Jordan?
Mike Evans. You know why? He got a ring.
That's right.
He's done something nobody else has done before. The only thing hey, Cam, you shorten your name. You're embarrassed, aren't you?
Yeah, it's like this.
It's Cameron.
I only say that because
Cameron.
You know, but you'll have certain other people who are not Saints fans who really talk like I said this.
John,
and I asked this.
That's an understatement, dude.
Yeah, but I want to ask you this, because here's one thing that I was like, I said, has Cam Jordan ever played at the level of a Julius Peppers? And that's
the only reason people
fuck up.
The only reason people know who Cam Jordan is because Drew Brees exists.
Exactly. And that's what I was telling people. I'm like, everybody knows who Julius Peppers was. You knew that motherfucker.
Why you got to compare him to Julius Peppers, man? Just JPP. Dude.
Hey, ask the Saints fans, say, name me a defining play by Cam Jordan. A defining, career-defining, season-defining, game-winning play by Cam Jordan. I will wait.
And I can't think of one. And you know we've played him in the division. Yeah, you're right. Drew Brees is who made that team, not the other way around. He had help.
Hey, Cam, you know who Tom Brady chose? Not you. Not you.
And Tristan Wirfs put him on ice skates. He had my man Sultan every time. Every time Tristan Wirfs would do this, and Cam would be like this. Cam turned into DJ Screw Up. Yeah, Wirfs with the. Yeah, nah.
Wait.
No.
Cam, you said you were great, right? And Ben, shout out to Ben Cornett. Cam, you talk about how great you are, but you also brag about how crappy and shitty Donovan Smith was, and you faced him for 5, 6, 7 years. So did you pad your stats on a shitty ass tackle?
And not only that,
which is it, bro?
And wait a minute. The last 2 seasons, Donovan Smith beat his ass.
But my point is, which is it? And if he sucks, like Johnny said, what about the last 2 seasons when your ass was in the dirt? So here's the thing. The point is, don't talk smack. Because no matter how high you are right now, there's going to be a time where someone's going to come back and say, hey, bro, remember that shit you was talking? Suck it. Because you suck right now. Do this, Cam. Like they said in the movie, Any Given Sunday. Just win one. Win one.
Nah,
put one on your finger.
Those days for the Taints are done, and I'm enjoying every moment of this shit. They're done. They're gonna be in the dark ages soon. So they're done. Camera, he had his chance and they fucking blew it.
Yeah, the Saints doing anything.
No,
that shit gives me a wood, man.
They're not. Look, and you want to know something beautiful? Jameis Winston actually broke them 1 year. Do you guys remember the last game of the season where Jameis threw the game-winning touchdown to Chris Godwin?
Yes.
To which team?
The name of the quarterback that you guys couldn't think of.
It gets better because the same shit when Jameis did that. What happened in the playoffs? The miracle at the Meadowlands. Do y'all remember? That was the same year, the same season that Stephon Diggs caught that pass over the same safety with that shitty tackling, and they ran and won the game. So that's why I said Jameis set it up.
When you say Meadowlands, all I can picture is butt fumble and Antonio Brown getting naked.
Oh, not the Meadowlands. I'm talking about Minnesota. I didn't mean
Meadowlands. Minnesota. Dude. Shout out to Dan Holme from Minnesota. But hey, y'all ever been to Minnesota?
No, I've never. Yes. I want to go to that mall though.
Man, shrinkage is a factor in Minnesota. Your shit will shrink.
Dude.
I
How
hope
long
not.
has it been since you were there? Because you can walk around that entire town encased. Because they got that skywalk now. You can walk all over town like that.
That's
dude, it's colder than a witch's titty, bro. Fuck that.
Oh God. Look.
Also Cam Jordan. Yeah. Half-ass player, half-ass name, half-ass media. Dude, win one. Win a Super Bowl. Win a Super Bowl, bro.
You can't because you can't win one for Gipper. Gipper was a make-believe guy, dude.
Nah, it's done. Again, they're done.
Now you got a quarterback that goes to TGI Fridays when he's in New Orleans, for crying out loud, man. Come on, bro.
Man. Look, it's just hey, I'm on the train when it comes to the Cam Jordan. Everybody knows I did not like Cam for the longest, but Slick makes good at points. He was the guy that you would still want on your team, but the thing about him, like you said, my man, dude, he reminds me of Keyshawn Johnson, thought he was better than what he was. It was like you were good for the moment, but not legendary. Like you said, I cannot name one game where he was like just the dominant force. Hell, Adrian Claiborne had more of a memorable moment with them 7 sacks.
I bet if you go back, and not that anybody should be put through this kind of torture, but go back and watch all of Cam Jordan's games, that the most of his sacks and quarterback pressures were in junk time where there was either a huge lead or a huge deficit involved. You know, like y'all used to disrespect Jameis Winston with that bullshit. So that shit goes both ways. But true. Cam, and here's what I'll say. Yes, we know Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Okay? The problem is the rest of the league don't know about him, or they don't want to know about him, or they refuse to know about him. And Cam, thank you for shedding light on the guy who's going to wipe the floor with your boys this year. That's cool too. But man, underwear football, bro. Too much talking. Can we put toe to leather and get this shit going, dude? I'm fucking tired of this shit, man.
No, this is my hot take. I got Evans going with at least 1,400 receiving yards and 13 plus touchdowns.
Why is that a hot take? I don't think that's a hot take, dude.
No,
those would be career highs for all of them, wouldn't it?
I'm talking about because the damn media people. I'm talking about
how many touchdowns?
Stephen A. Smiths and the ESPN bullshitters.
How many?
I got him at 13 something or 14.
And 13 is he has 13 twice. So
his best year he had over 1,500 yards. Oh, I remember that was with Jameis. Oh, I remember.
I'm talking about touchdowns, dude.
Oh no, touchdowns. I think he had 15 touchdowns, right?
I think 14 was his tops right now.
Oh, okay. I still think he's going to have a solid, complete season because I think if Baker starts, he's going to – I love quarterbacks that improvise. Like I said, he's a light-skinned Jameis with just not as much turnovers. That's all.
Is it 14? Yeah.
Wait. He called him a light-skinned Jameis. All right, first of all, AJ's the only one on this screen that can say that shit.
He's a light-skinned Jameis. They got the bravado, the personality. They got shit. They got the.
I will say, back in the day, Baker could bust a move on the dance floor. I can say that for sure. Baker can move. But here's my problem. Does anybody honestly, go past the pewter and the red and the creamsicle, reach all the way down there? Does anybody really think Baker Mayfield can be the long-term answer for this team?
I've been thinking a lot about that. Let me interject here a little bit.
John, you hadn't spoken to a good
With Canales and with Evans talking about separation, and there's another thing that nobody's even talking about. Nobody in the Bucs fan base or anybody's talking about. We got a dual threat tight end situation now with Kate Otten and Parnham. Okay, that's going to increase the weaponry. All right, you can, if he gets in trouble, he can go right over the middle, right to tight end, boom, play the Mahomes thing. You know what I mean? With Kelsey, he can always do that. You know, you're not going to worry about. I watched Parnham. I expect a lot out of Parnham. Okay, I expected a lot out of Kate Otten. Kate Otten, I thought was really coming on last year too. So.
That name is dumb.
I'm really excited about the offensive weapons that this team has. You got Cody Mock out there. You got, he's Ryan Jensen's twin. Let's get anger in that fucking offensive line, right? So,
wait a minute, ain't it Payne Durham?
Hey, fuck all that. As long as he bring the pain, Johnny
bring
Slick can tell you.
You're all like he's Durham Paynham.
Hey, look, no, Slick can vouch for this. I've been talking, Johnny, you're right. I've been talking about the tight end. The tight end is going to be a problem because I think he can be a dual threat. And here's the thing. We love the fact that Baker can improvise. That's why I say he's a light-skinned Jameis. He knows how to improvise. And as you said, if he gets in trouble, fuck throwing in the middle. Evans, he's going to give it to Evans because he's never had this kind of talent. But to answer your question, dude, the offense is going to go as far as Canal's scheme works for Baker. If it's a match made for Baker, he can be the solution because he has two great receivers. He's going to have tight ends. Kate Otten is on the come up. He's got a running back.
When's the last time this team ever heard of an offensive coordinator creating separation in his game?
Exactly. Amen, Johnny. And that's the thing. Evans wants to go off. Evans, I'm going to tell you this, Baker's going to force feed the fuck out of Evans. And that's a beautiful thing. We want that. Because Slick, I'm going to let Slick say what he says about Mike Evans because you say it the best. What is it that makes Evans so special, Slick? Go ahead, Coach. Bring it in.
Okay. Mike Evans is the only wide receiver that does what he does at his level, right? He has a very limited route tree, but he plays it better than anybody else in that league.
I wouldn't call his route tree that limited anymore. He worked with Brady, and his route tree increased exponentially. Excuse me.
For sure, but potentially. And his route tree has got it, but he has a limited route tree compared to someone like I don't know. Say, let's go with his own co-wide receiver,
Chris Godwin,
slot as well.
Yeah. Well, Chris Godwin can run the ball out of the backfield. He's the Deebo Samuel, you know.
He's at the same exactly. But he's a master of what he does. He's not like it's almost like instead of being a jack of all trades, he's a master of what he does. And that's why people go, oh well, I don't get the hype about him because his plays aren't just hype like sexy running routes. They're not. It's workmanship. He goes up, he gets it, he comes down. I remember for ages when he first came here for the first year, he got away with it. I would say got away with it because I was fine with it. And I think most of us in this room would be fine with it, or in this area would be fine with it. However, for a few years after his rookie season, people were saying things like, oh, he's not a very good wide receiver because he doesn't get anything after catch. Because he's not a good wide receiver after catch. And that's because he jump balls up, catches it, and brings it the fuck down. You can't exactly land on your feet and go for a fucking run when someone's about to drill you. He's a smart player who's always had soft tissue issues. He's never, ever been on IR. Well, no, liar. He did go on IR that one time, but it was a soft tissue, and he's never broken anything. He's never been, and that's why he's got the longevity so far as well.
Mm-hmm. Hey, wait till you're over 50. Everything's a soft tissue issue, bro.
Dude, you speak for yourself. Damn that. I will. You know what? I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. But Slick is right. But again, narrative. I'll give you another example. Randy Moss was a one-trick pony, but people was riding him. Tyreek Hill is typically more of a one-trick pony, but people dick ride him. It's more about who do you like and if you're effective. Mike Evans can actually be a duel. Johnny's right. When Brady was here, they were running things, but And what Slick was saying, just because they were running, that doesn't mean he was as effective. The best Evans we saw was the Jameis Winston era. Throw the shit up. I got it. Or if you can, let me kill somebody in the slot because the corner doesn't have the strength to keep up with me or to handle me in a tackle. This is how you use him. Mike Evans, what makes him special is you need an improvising quarterback. That's why his numbers went low with Brady, because Brady's more tactical, and this is where I need you to be. You got to have a gunslinger for Evans to get open and say, look, let's do this backyard football shit, because I know you can get that separation. And a corner's nightmare with Evans is he doesn't want to deal with him after 4 seconds because he doesn't have the strength. And Evans has good speed for his size. He trots. So eventually, if they throw that bomb, it's over. Either you pass interference him or he's just going to catch a touchdown. So, yes, Slick got it right. Evans does what he does best.
I've been saying all I need is 4 seconds, and I'm good to go.
I'd like to see the stats on interference on each wide receiver, because I mean I don't watch everyone's games, so I can't really. But Mike Evans seems to get a lot of flags for the sheer volume of people hanging off him.
Sean Spencer's last remark. I agree. That's how I feel they're going to try to do. That's what they've always tried to do, is double Evans and Godwin.
Yeah, well, you play a cover 2 shout, but then that leaves the run wide open.
But this is what pissed us off about fucking Byron Dumbo Leftwich, Bubblegum Shrimp. If you're doubling Evans or Godwin, I was going to use Scotty fucking Miller up that middle. Get the spread going. Oh, you want to double us?
Yeah, that's another thing on the game they can say.
Hey, that's all right. And I'm saying it. That fucking guy, he pissed me off so much. I'm just sitting here like, you have all the tools, but you don't want to use it because you didn't know what the fuck you were doing. Every time he get in a jam,
shrimp and butterfly shrimp.
Every time he got in a play, it was
shrimp on a skewer, shrimp scampi.
Yes.
Let's see you keep a straight face with that shit, JT.
Jumbo shrimp.
Yes, he would. And then when they say, all right, they got a stack, what are you going to do, coach?
Coconut shrimp.
Nah, flight of the bumblebee, shrimp soup, shrimp potatoes, and that's about
shrimp
it.
And grits.
That's about it. Oh. And then after every
play,
coach, what just happened? We got our ass whooped. I want to go home, Mo, because he's from DC, so he's Mo a couple.
You guys thought you were gonna have a fucking serious show every here, play. And then the NFL edition joined.
No, every fucking play. The spread. If Canales
shrimp po boy.
No, I knew I shouldn't have started that shit, but yeah.
You got the peel and eat 'em shrimp.
Yes, that.
Yeah, if you have an Evans on your team and you're not throwing the ball up for the 50-50s, then you're fucked up.
Facts, Johnny. Tell him that. If I'm in 5 yards, it's going to Evans. I don't give a shit.
And nobody throws the ball like Evans does.
Nobody. Johnny, say that again for the
barbecue shrimp.
For the Bucs fans. Johnny, say what you just said about Evans.
Nobody takes the 50-50 ball away like Evans.
Shrimp tacos.
Thank you. That's all we need to know.
You don't have to be worried about the fucking interceptions, man. Fuck your stat line, dude.
Shrimp and linguine with clam sauce.
Area he's going to take the ball.
Exactly. And we forget his rookie year, he was killing with those catches. Especially the game in Washington where he was burning people. Do you remember? I remember.
Oh, you got to bring up Washington now.
Josh McCown threw the ball, but I remember because the Washington Redskins at the time was being disrespectful. They put a linebacker on Evans, and Evans made him pay for dear life. And this was the rookie Evans. Oh, and then let's not forget, Evans and Vincent Jackson were cooking against the Steelers on that comeback win.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace to one of the best in Vincent Jackson. But this is what I'm saying. Think about this. I want Evans to write a fucking book, The Memoirs of the Quarterbacks That Threw Me the Ball. I want to know who was the one where you were like, this was great, and who were you like, what the hell? I'm sure when he saw Josh McCown, he's like, Lord, please let him get hit. I can't have him throwing me the ball. No, I'm telling you, Mike Evans, for you guys out there who don't know better, Mike Evans is the man. He is. his stats don't lie. Because I know a lot of people say, "Oh, look at his numbers." Jerry Rice, Randy Moss.
You done
He's
fired
up there
Sean
with
up.
them.
You done fired Sean up, AJ. Look at the last 2 comments.
What'd he say? Put up those comments, Sean. I'm sorry. Wow, I thought AJ was cool. Sean, hey, look, that was the Redskins. Y'all the Commodores now. Again, the Commodores. I'm gonna tweet. I'm gonna DM Lionel and be like, look, you gotta get the crew back.
Back in shrimp.
Go to DC.
Go to DC all night long, losing or scoring all night long.
I'm ready. I think
Boom, boom, shrimp.
3 more 1,000-yard seasons left in him easily.
Oh no! I give him
shrimps.
I give him overall 6 to 7 more years, but I give him 3 to 4 great years. No, 2 great years, 3 to 4 good years, because people forget he's still only fucking 29 years old. As Slick said it, he's not an injury guy. He's that guy. He's durable. Evans.
And maybe he'll produce more if you quit running him down the field for nothing.
Thank you. Or stop throwing at his fucking feet. Brady, we love you. We thank you. But that's what was happening. You're throwing at his feet where he has to turn around.
Fucking 5, whatever he is. I don't know, 6'6" or whatever. And he's like down and catch him at his feet. You know?
We got a full house tonight. We got Ben Corden in the house. What's up, Ben? How you doing, sir?
Somebody put the
StreamYard link in there, and I'm like, ooh, this looks sexy. Let me tap on that button there.
Still not as good as Captain Crunch.
Is that the dude?
That's the dude. The dude, because just to let you know, I made a Bubba Gump Shrimp reference to Byron Leftwich. That, you know, he could have been.
I don't think I've heard Shrimp Scampi yet. And
isn't that insulting to Bubba Gump, though? Isn't that insulting to Bubba Gump?
could be. I know, right? Look, damn, Byron. Yes, you're getting all
mango
the
chutney shrimp.
No, but we were just talking about the disrespect Mike Evans has been getting. Ben, there was a tweet that said, "Name a player that you're overhyped in." It was a disrespect to Mike Evans.
Cam Jordan.
I know. I saw it.
So, Ben, what is your thoughts on that when those people were talking about him? Give us your thoughts of the disrespect. How did you feel?
All you can eat shrimp at Red Lobster.
Again, people have their opinions. They're like a-holes. Everybody has one, and some of them are full of, you know what? And
steak and shrimp.
Thank you. I just listen. The reason I think why a lot of people say the things about Evans, they don't watch him that much. You got to remember, before Brady came here, how many Bucs games were on national TV? Hardly any. So I think a lot of that
runs the length of the fucking football field 10 times in a row and gets a cramp, and people bitch about it. Come on, man. Fuck you.
Yeah, but again, it's just one of those things where,
Cam
Jordan's Cam Jordan. He likes to hear himself talk. I get that, and you're right, AJ. I can't think of a play that. Oh my god, no, I can't think of a play Cam Jordan came up with.
Don't forget the cheddar biscuits.
Yeah, no, Ben, you're right. Cam has never been that game where you were like, "Oh shit, he's never been considered a premier." Like the premier.
I can name a play, but I'm not going to because it was against us.
Why not?
I don't feel like fucking naming that play.
I remember when he tried to choke out Ryan Jensen and he tried to do
flavored ramen.
Well, I remember him blowing up Brady because he snuck in between Wirfs in his first year and beat the tight end.
Okay. One play.
My name's Cam Jordan with Invisalign.
But let's be real. That 2020 season, it wasn't Cam. That was Hankerson. He was going off. He got himself a contract in Cincinnati. That dude was going.
I ain't taking anything from Cam, man. Cam did win that play, man. It was.
We talking about one play though. But when the playoffs came,
well, you said memorable. I mean, I try to not remember anything.
Well,
from Cam
okay. I thought we were talking in terms of a game-changing play.
Exactly. No, Ben, you're right.
Cam won the game. They won the game on that play because we was driving. Remember?
Cam's real good on mic'd up.
I mean, I'm not taking any.
Is he though? Really? Is he good on mic'd up?
No, he's annoying.
You go back in the archives 10 years from now, and
no, but everybody knows the guy that I can't stand the most on that team is fucking Marshawn Lattimore.
Nobody like. Hey, it's not just a Bucs thing. No wide receiver in the league likes playing against Lattimore because he's a dirty player.
And that's what I'm saying. But this is where I think sometimes narratives go, because I've seen certain games where he's holding Evans, but they don't call it because they go for that hype, that media rivalry shit. Because there are plays when Evans dog him physically. Because let's be real, we know Evans.
It's been 3 years since he's really fucking gotten Evans' head now. I mean, except there's that one time, and that was because the coach, remember? When he came back out and got into it with him. But he hasn't really gotten Evans' head in a while, man.
No, but and that's the thing. But I do sometimes think the refs are being a little lopsided because they'll let him hold Evans much longer. Because when I've seen them play other games, they will call something on Marshawn Lattimore in a second, like if he does some stupid shit. But when it comes to Evans, it's like they're being a little more biased because that they want to see the. Let's be real. The NFL really wants to see them two go at it because that's ratings. Fox is like, please say some shit so we can get some ratings.
It almost reminds me of the Hines Ward, Ray Lewis stuff.
Marshawn Lattimore is a poor man's Rondé Barber.
Oh, don't even be disrespectful. You don't even put him in that same bracket.
We're talking about so poor. His idea of football is playing with his wooden toys.
No. Marshawn Lattimore. Look, I think he has me blocked anyway. But no. We have never going to put him up there with Rondé. You have to be smart, first of all. He is nowhere near as intelligent as Rondé. Marshawn Lattimore is
different corners, though. I mean, Marshawn's more of a like a one-on-one kind of corner, where Rondé was also a safety, though, right? I mean,
Rondé can do anything.
Yeah, Rondé all around.
And Rondé can blitz. He can look. Rondé Barber made fucking Adrian Peterson fumble. I would. You can tell me this right now. Marshawn Lattimore would never have the balls to run up and try to tackle Adrian Peterson.
And Rondé got a ring.
Yep.
He's got a ring.
He's got a ring
and a jacket.
Shout out to the jacket. I spoke that shit last year into existence, sort of. I really hope Rondé saw that because I knew he had to get a jacket because he was that guy.
But why did he have to go after Lynch, though? He should have been before John Lynch.
Oh, absolutely. It was disrespectful. It's disrespectful because the Bucs never are gonna. We got to get more love, but they got to get over the fact that Succaneers era is fucking over. You got to let that go. I don't care that we're Tampa. Hey, we don't have to be in New York. They always like to suck off the Giants. The Giants ain't been shit since Eli. The Cowboys ain't been shit since Clinton. Let's be real.
Come on now. You know the Jets are the darlings of New York, even though the Giants are the better team.
Yeah, but we know the Jets ain't going nowhere, so that shit isn't relevant.
They're living off of Joe Namath's fucking guarantee, man. And I'm sick of that shit.
That's what I'm saying. They love they decide who's the popular team to really give coverage to. But let's be real, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers we're gonna surprise people. We're gonna be a lot better. I just think narratives. If we had more, I'd say over the years, if we had more primetime games, Levante would have had his flowers earlier because Levante is respected around the league. We know that. Mike Evans is respected around the league, but social media people, like people who listen to everything a social media person says, I can't stand it because Slick said it before. It's fluff. When they do fluff talk, I ignore the shit. I go, oh, Shannon's saying that. Okay, Shannon, you're looking at the script. Okay, I got you because you know football better than that. When they say their little shit like, oh well, I think
I need to put a disclaimer in here. When he says media hype, you can tune out everybody else's hype, but listen to us.
Yes, amen.
We're
going to tell you real football, and we're not big. Look, of course we're Buck fans, but we're not going to be biased. We're going to call it out as it is. Nobody in here said that Evans is the greatest well-rounded receiver. No, Slick said it best. He does what he does.
Oh, I'm going to be biased. When I'm on this show, I can be biased that I want to fucking be.
I like to say it because I want people to go, oh, no, I'm talking football. When it comes to football, you're just good. Either you got it or you don't. A lot of people have it, and some people just don't.
That's Thursdays for me.
Brady, I think they tried to make Evans more of a different kind of receiver when Brady was there, and it didn't always work.
No, it didn't work. Well, Brady he's carefree. He's carefree, and we didn't like that. We needed and it got us there because we had a full team, but as you can see, when you don't have good coaching and the team, let's be real, Brady had a down year. It caught up with him.
Of course, yeah.
It fucks you up. But yes, damn, Evans, this is how we know you're popular. We've been talking about you for damn near an hour.
Sean's last comment.
What's up?
Hey.
Let's see what he says.
That's something Washington and the Bucs can all agree on.
Hands down. First of all, those people back then who was a part of that organization, Tampa, you owe Doug Williams a fucking apology.
You mean that asshole that owned the fucking team?
Yeah, they owe him an apology because people forget Doug Williams got the Bucs to an NFC title in '79 with him and Leroy Selman, and they lost to the Rams. Oh, fuck the Rams! I can't stand them. They always get us at the worst time. But no, Doug Williams deserved his flowers, and that's why he got it in with the Redskins. So it was very justified.
That was the team that created the worst of first scenario.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
And look, and then we gave him away for Vinny Testaverde. The Methuselah of quarterbacks.
Vinny Testaverde just comes off losing that big fucking game, right? And we draft him. I'm like, come on, motherfuckers.
Yep. Hey, that was nice. That was nice. I like that. I like that jersey, man. Doug was okay, you know.
Number 12, baby.
Yeah, you know.
The original number 12.
What's your address? What's your address now? Let me get that up off you.
Oh, it's not. No. This is staying on me, dude.
Let me get that up off you, man. Come on now. I need that shit. I need that. Look, if you
I saw one like that said Brady Williams on the back of it.
I love Brady. Don't disrespect that.
That is. Look, hey guys, we
kind of like. Well, nah. The same number, not retired. I guess
of all time, but no, you can't
be the way to do it. But
no, you gotta leave shit sacred. That's sacred because Slick said it. The third year, the Bucs, we came out of being pissy, and we became a legit threat. We just couldn't finish it. And then, of course, we go back to the soggy years. But Doug Williams and Leroy Selman will forever be stamped as making the Bucs relevant because 79, only the third year, and they got there. And from that point, we knew Bucs was about defense because the first person we drafted was Leroy Selman, a defensive end. So we were always a defense, hard-nosed, physical town. And that's another reason why I'm excited. I hope Bowles can get it together, but with this defense, if he keeps his shit together, this Bucs team can be that sleeper that, I don't want to play them if everybody's healthy in December. And Shaq is, and again, respect to Shaq. If he comes back healthy, let's say Shaq can be a 10 to 12 sack linebacker. Oh shit! And let's say Yaya or Sabassier comes on. We know Antoine Winfield. Antoine's gonna have a big year.
Right. He's only gonna come on if.
I will go back to Leroy a second, man.
What's up?
If the stats guys ever finish this, because they're supposed to be going through all the old archives and shit of all these old players and getting their stats right. If they ever finally get Leroy's numbers right, and Deacon Jones, if they get those guys' numbers right, then Michael Strahan, fuck off, dude. You're not even in the top 10.
How much of a legend Leroy Selman is that he's in the 100-year anniversary team.
Yeah.
100-year anniversary team. And do you know who sang his praises? Bill Belichick.
That's right, he did.
Belichick, keep your motherfucking ass away from my guy.
Yo, I love this. Look, guys, this is Bucs fans out there.
Right now, dude. You're sounding like Alex Schubert right now, and all these negative, all these.
The aftermath is where we bring it out. Look, you can say what you want to say. I love it. He said, Belichick, get the fuck out of here. Look, hey, no, but Slick, that's a great point. Leroy Selman was one of the cornerstone guys, and I really do. Johnny, you're right. I hope they do go back and get their stats right because
I just want Bucs fans to give him his fucking due, man. You mentioned Leroy Selman, they're all like scratching their head like, Warren Sapp. Dude, I love Warren Sapp, but he was no Leroy Selman, brother.
I mean, you got to think about it.
I thought about it. I watched both eras very closely. I was on the sidelines watching Leroy.
You watched both eras,
man.
In all respect, because you're a very young man, but you've been around a lot longer.
Nice.
I'm just saying, who in here remembers Leroy Selman playing? Who saw it? I don't. I wasn't even a thought. So you got to be like most of when social media did come to where it's at, people can go back and Google and YouTube more Warren Sapp highlights than Leroy. That's no disrespect to Leroy. They just didn't have a lot of shit back in the 70s and 80s.
Well, I'll damn sure put some Leroy highlights out there for you.
Oh no, I feel you. And Sapp's personality was more flamboyant than Leroy. Leroy was, a down to earth guy. Like that's the difference between Leroy and Derek Brooks are one and the same, just different positions. They're both humble, great guys. But the league and the media, we like our assholes. We love the assholes. And the flamboyant people. We love the people who talk shit. We like, well, I don't always like it, but most people want to see people do stupid shit. So that's why. That's why those guys get more exposure. Warren Sapp wasn't the most liked guy off the field, but he was he made his presence known on the field, especially during the Brett Favre rivalries. So
absolutely. I mean, you said it best, AJ. I mean, and also Warren Sapp was the only guy to win a Super Bowl a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl ring and a prostitution ring at the
Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do that.
Dewey Selman was probably one of the most ferocious linebackers we've ever had, too.
Who?
I guess.
Dewey, Leroy's brother.
Oh yeah, no.
He was ferocious at a middle linebacker position.
We've had so many fucking linebackers that changed. Derek Brooks, Hardy Nickerson, Shelton Cross was no slouch. You got Levante. People forget Geno Hayes made some splashes. Barrett Ruud was Mr. Consistent. Barrett Ruud was that guy. I remember these guys. We got Shaq Barrett, who was snubbed as fucking defensive player of the year because he was a first-year guy on the Bucs. I bet you if he played for the Green Bay Packers, they'd have gave him his flowers. So the Bucs, we've had a plethora of linebackers and defensive linemen.
And you know what, guys? I think Shaq Barrett's going to be playing with a little more extra motivation this year. Obviously, with the unfortunate stuff that happened. I think there's going to be some extra motivation that it's probably going to be his saving
Shaq Barrett has never suited up and played for us and played badly. Never.
Right. But I'm just saying this year there's going to be a little extra, especially coming off a knee injury, the off the field thing. I mean,
yeah.
You got to look and see how he's going to be used, man, because they used him in a lot of pass protection plays, a lot, man. And they took him off the pass rush. So,
but this is why this draft was so important. We don't want Shaq to come back yet. We want him
AJ is on fire every night.
Sorry, but we want, like you said, Johnny and Ben, we want Shaq to come back when he is fully ready and healthy, and slowly bring him along. That's why we got the Yayas and the Sabrassiers
with Godwin last year, and then we see him in the first fucking game. He rolls over, and we're like, shit.
Yep,
exactly. So we have the tools, we have it, and I'm glad we're talking about defense because, hey, Evans, if you see this, or if any fans out there or family relatives of Evans, you were talked about damn near an hour. You are Mr. Elite. Every time if I even meet you, Evans, your name is Elite. That's it. What's up, Elite? How you living?
Well, I think Evans in the Buccaneer fan base has finally got that recognition where everybody loves Evans now. No, there was a time when you had to push him on people. I mean, look what he's doing. Come on, man.
There's still people thinking we should trade him though. That's the problem.
Oh yeah, Slick has talked about that shit, and we be looking like that doesn't
what
make
they're
sense.
doing is they're watching other teams get rid of all their high profile people and grabbing up all these draft picks and shit. And they just they're draft envious.
Not realizing that shit it didn't work out for the Vegas Raiders. They was collecting first rounds like.
We can't talk about Vegas tonight, man, because Ben Cornette got him a parade going there in Vegas. Stanley Cup came to Vegas finally.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You say was it?
Oh, what's that?
You said it finally came to Vegas. You said Johnny said
6 years. 6 years. 6 years as a team, and they get there, man. They're trying to copy the Rays. I mean the Bolts.
No, that's what's up though.
You know what sucks though is I want to go to this parade Saturday night, right? Well, my dad got baseball tickets a month ago that it's on the same night at the same time, and I'm his right, and
Oh.
I'm getting paid for him, and I'm like, oh,
does the parade route go by the stadium?
No, it doesn't, because it's on way on the other side of town. So,
well, look, man, just go get you a bottle afterwards and just drink your sorrow. I mean, not sorrows, but just drink.
Well, I have to do it when I get home, because
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Just drink lit, be lit. But guys, let's turn this over. Since we were talking about the defense, we all got to get this out the way.
Coach.
And dude, if you want to jump back in, go ahead. This Devin White situation. What the hell is going on? I want everybody across.
Diva White. It's not Devin White. It's Diva White.
Oh, okay, Diva White. So, what, guys? Who wants to start off first? What the hell's going on, Johnny? You go ahead.
All right. Simple question: Has the Bucs ever been known for their divas?
Yeah, no. We were talking about Devin White. Yeah, what's going on?
What I'm talking about. We're talking about the same person, Diva White. Just like Ben said. Okay.
Yeah.
He wants this big contract. I think he's going to be moving on. But my fucking thing is, get something out of this motherfucker, because you're going to get a top. He's a top 5 linebacker in the country. Okay, he is. People are drooling over Devin White. Steelers would love to have Devin White. You know, so get something for him this time. Don't be giving him away for nothing, or a 7th round pick. Put a fucking franchise tag on his damn ass, and then trade him with that in mind.
I like that. I like that, Johnny. Put a fucking tag on his ass. I like that shit. I like it, and this is his thing. He comes. It's not a holdout. It's not a hold in. It's whatever the fuck this bullshit is. Was he injured? Because I don't ever remember him being injured at the end of the season. So what?
He plays off.
Who else is joined camp that they're doing this weird fucking shit with? Like, I get it. I like their logic behind it. Kind of makes sense. But then I'm going, hang on. Loads of people report. Mike Evans didn't do all the other voluntary stuff. He's come to this one. He's not being held back, and we've got to test how he is, and test this, and test that, and test this. But old Diva White, we got to check him. We got to make sure he's okay. We got to make sure he's up to scratch. Well, is he unfit? If he's unfit, you're applying for a fucking contract, dude. Turning up to fucking camp unfit, that is detrimental to you, you fat
You
fuck.
haven't even finished up your rookie contract yet, man, and you're acting like this. Come on, man. It takes people four contracts, or 2 contracts at least, to get through this kind of shit. Now with the league the way it's going, it's usually wide receivers doing it, but now it's bleeding over into the defense and stuff, and I'm not happy with that.
I think it's more just his mentality of who he is. But which
is good. I like the mentality.
The team would have declared that he's injured and they're checking him over, blah, 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 blah. If he wasn't injured, I just think this is just all smoke and mirrors. It's just bullshit. Yep. There's just nothing in there. But I like the idea of tagging him, because I don't think they'll trade him now, because
can we keep him out of Pittsburgh?
much for him, because when you say, I need to get rid of this player, they'll go, great, fucking, I'll give you nothing for him. And I've got to take it because I've got no other choice. But where you just sit there and someone goes, how much for Devin White, baby? And you go, some business could be done here. That's where you can set a bit of a demand. You've got to kind of almost play the game a little bit. And if he has a good season, like you said, you tag him, got a little bit more leeway.
Yeah, I don't want to put him in Pittsburgh with Devin Bush, because, they came out at the same time, and Bush was supposed to be that much better, but he wasn't. I would say Ravens, but they don't use a linebacker like him. They want their linebackers bigger and more powerful.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Ben? How do you feel about this Diva White situation?
Well,
we done started a new hashtag.
Diva White.
Picture Devin White, Diva White, stick a fucking tiara on his head.
Well, I mean, he already rides horses, so he could dress him up in a nice rhinestone, suit and everything. I mean, in all seriousness, there's a lot of red flags here, guys. I mean, the plays, he's like Johnny says, he takes plays off. To me, a third or fourth year guy says that he wants that contract, and you see him
don't get me
plays
wrong.
off.
Every player takes plays off, but it's not
Well, but
crucial plays usually.
it's not just like,
and it's
but
usually
it's
they go off the
more
field to do
often
it,
than
not
not.
do it on the field.
But it's more often than not with Devin White. Why would I want to invest the future in somebody like that? I'm being honest here. Like,
Right.
and this is a contract year too. A lot of players like to play during their contract year, so that way they can get that money. So some team will pay him. The Bucs really have to think about this. Even if he does play well, are we going to get that same guy in 2024 if we re-sign him? Are we going to get that same guy in 2023 where he comes and just lights it on fire, Or are we going to get a guy that says, okay, well, I got my money now. You're stuck with me. So, haha, that's on you guys. That's my only fear.
I got a little nugget I want to add to this. The Buccaneers, obviously, I don't know if you guys know, I would assume you know because we're all kind of like linked into this shit. So, 2 of our players have just played with their contracts to allow our draft picks to get signed. So, we've just signed Kalijah Kancey and we signed Yaya, right?
Yeah.
And that's both Tristan Wirfs extended his contract. He now has 3 dead years in his contract. And Antoine Winfield has 4 dead years. They are guaranteed to be signed next year because they can't afford to take dead money off the fucking ball. They have
somebody just made a couple of adjustments to their contract. 2 players for the Bucs just made adjustments.
Yeah, Winfield and Wirfs.
They just added dead years to their contract to allow, right? So once you add dead years to the contract, if they do not get signed next year, you have to pay. You don't pay that dead money, but that dead money goes against your cap, right?
Right.
Those 2 are getting re-signed next year. They have to be.
Absolutely. Sean Spencer, let me reply to Sean Spencer real quick, man. Dude, your problem with Chase Young is you got to figure out where the hell you're going to trade him to, okay? And you got to find all that tape of Donovan Smith beating his ass and burn it, okay?
That's true. When it comes to Devin, I'm disappointed because we just talked about the great linebacking cores we've had over the years. They all played with passion, heart, because they knew if they excelled, the money will be there. And Slick has said this before. Devin is being very selfish. The Buccaneers situation. And I get it. People say this is business, not my problem. But it is your fucking problem. Because if they can't afford to do that, then that's everybody's problem. And this is why I really think the drafts that they picked in the linebackers is a notice to Devin. Because let's say again, I said Devin is going to have a great year. But even that, then what if Yaya has a good year? What if Servassier has a good year?
Servassier is a middle linebacker. He's not going to get rotate. He's going to be mainly special teams, and he'll rotate in and out for Devin White in that.
But what if he? But that's the thing.
But what if he's going to? You know that LVD's been looking for a middle linebacker to wear that dot. So if he steps up and can take control,
who's he going to play?
Like LVD wants him to. You know what I mean? Because LVD, they've been trying to pair LVD with somebody who can take that off his shoulders. They've been trying that since they got the guy from the other LSU guy. What was it?
Quan Alexander.
Quan Alexander, yeah. They've been trying that since then, and they just never could step up and do what LVD does. If they can find somebody, and I know he might be a special teamer, but so was Jamal Dean, okay?
Oh, no.
You can get somebody that steps up for LVD to take that off his shoulders. Can you imagine what LVD be like if he gets to go out there and just play the way he wants to fucking play?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's my point, guys. I just think Devin is not realistically thinking about this. You're not the only one on this team that has special talent. We just talked about Wirfs and Winfield. Those 2 are automatically, their ceiling is higher. And I think Johnny's right. He is top 5, but the way that he's behaving, you're not top 3 or top 2. You still have a lot of room to improve. Winfield, and then on the other hand, Winfield is already deemed, not just in the Bucs media, but everybody. I know people who are not Bucs fans say Winfield is that guy. Wirfs is that guy. Winfield is going to excel because, one, he has the leadership better. As Slick has always said, Devin is a flashy guy where it takes his ego. Depending on how his ego goes, that's where you'll know what kind of game he has. Winfield and Wirfs, they're consistent. If Servassier, and I know what you're saying, Slick, and I get it, special teams, but like Johnny, we were just saying, what if Servassier is better as a pass coverage linebacker than Devin? And I'm not talking about by a small margin.
Put him in the point, rotation like you said,
anyway. Where Levante can go, oh shit.
You're not gonna. I mean, that'll be a conversation. Savassier is a next year conversation. He's not gonna make it. He's gonna make impact on special teams, and he's gonna. If he's as special as you guys think, and I'm not saying he isn't.
Right.
You're looking around about mid-season, but he's gonna have to knock out Devin White or Levante David. They're the two middle linebackers. That's fact. Right now, that's who your starting guys are, unless something happens. Now, what could happen is, let's say Savassier has a great camp and a great preseason. Maybe the Buccaneers do listen to a few trade offers and go, well, let's see what we can get for this guy. Especially if he's playing decently or solidly at the time, and Savassier is coming in still doing his thing. Then maybe you turn around and go, well, we'll see what happens. Get to the trade deadline, you get rid of him, and then
right. You got to see how much of the rotation he gets into.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. And I think that's where Devin got to understand. They drafted these guys because, hey, if they can just be average to above average consistently, that leaves no room for you, my guy, because now you're at the point, and this is what pisses me off, because you have a chance to be a part of something still great. You have you guys drafted a defense that's only going to get better. Vita is still very young. You got your boy Levante right next to you. What the fuck is wrong with you, Devin? Why are you behaving this way? I mean, again, I love Devin, but you're not Fred Warner yet. You're not there. You're not up to that level just yet. You won that game in the Super Bowl. You shined. Don't get it twisted. But so did Shaq Barrett. So did JPP. So did Vita Vea. Everybody on that team played at a crazy level. The biggest thing that Devin did was intercept Drew Brees in the divisional round. But everything else, that fucking Green Bay Packers game, it was JPP and Shaq that was feasting. They were the one, and we already know that JPP and them feasted in the Super Bowl. Ndamukong Suh, Vita Vea. That's my point to Devin. You're being very selfish. And
well, let's be honest. Devin White, his best year was his first year, his rookie year. That was it. I mean,
no, his second year. That was his second year was his best year. The Super Bowl run. His rookie year, he showed promise. But that second year, the Super Bowl run, oh no, he was the man. But again, he wasn't the man by himself. And that's what I think he's being very selfish about. And Slick, we've all said this before. You'll fuck around. Let's say you do have a great year. You have a great year, but what if the Texans or somebody else wants you? Now you're going to be paid on a team where you don't have any future of winning anything else. It's not a shot at the Texans, but you get my point.
I'm just thinking about the Texans team right now and that head coach they got. DeMeco Ryan. I think that's going to be a surprise team soon.
A surprise, but let's be real. The Texans are still 4 years off to being
not this year either.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But we've seen players where they get the money, but did you get what you want when you got what you want? Because now you're on a team where they don't have a direction, and now you're going to be pissed. And and everybody knows NFL guys love legacies. It's like, Devin, if you go to a team where there's some shit, that's going to mess with you. Now people are going to say, you didn't do anything. Yeah. Oh, you might have had 108 tackles, but you guys are 4-13. So you obviously can't change the team around.
Okay. Some NFL guys love legacies, dude.
Does he care about the legacy, or does he care about?
That's what I'm getting at right there.
I think he does. I think he does, because
if he did, honestly, would he come into the league talking about I'm the next $100 million man?
But guys like him expect that. But when he was called out for loafing by warning them, That pissed him off. A money guy would have just said, "Oh, I'll do my own thing." Because let's be real, his play did get better after that Baltimore game.
Can't make
so
money
he
if
cares.
you get called
he
out
cares.
for moping.
He cares. No, he cares. I think he cares. And then also look at the peers he's around. Levante David is a household. We love. He like, we got to be real right now. Overall, like, Levante is still a better player because he's not as physical as as Devin. But remember, Levante was a guy who was a missile back in the day too, especially in the Shiano days. But Devin hasn't hit that yet to where he still is a promise. He has a promising future, but he ain't where like Levante is. Antoine Winfield, we just said, him and Wirfs, their ceiling is much higher.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. A lot of our defense is there because of Todd Bowles. Okay.
Yes.
We expect Todd Bowles to be on the hot seat, right?
Yes, I do.
How much of this defense is going to be an exodus when Todd Bowles leaves? Because a lot of them came here just because of Todd Bowles.
If they get another defensive guy in there with all that talent, and depending on how they
it's kind of hard to. You were talking about legacy. Todd Bowles has a defensive legacy, dude.
He does have a defensive legacy, but if you don't have a leadership legacy, that's going to hurt you even more because there's a lot of guys.
We're talking about defense now.
Yeah, but defense. If you have the talent,
Todd Bowles, his name just brought those guys in.
I hear you, but talent. If you have the talent, just
I know Levante David ain't going nowhere.
Right. And here's, do you remember when we brought JPP in and he was a defensive end? He didn't have Bowles back then, and he still was a double-digit sack guy under the Cutter era. So if you have the talent,
he play with us in Cutter's era?
Yes, he did. He was. That's when we still had the 4-3, and he was our first double-digit sacker.
Well, okay, you're saying JPP, but he's always wanted to play for Tampa.
I get it, but my point is, if you have the right coach that comes in with the talent, it's not going to make that much of a difference because if they can pick up where he left off, it's not going to make the football needs a leader. And if you don't have that one guy that can just make the decision to say, this is what we're going to do, then it falls apart because that can also turn against Bowles.
I feel that the leadership is there for the defense. I think we're going to have to see what happens with Canales because I think he's going to be the voice of the offense.
Absolutely.
He already is, as far as I've heard in camp. He's already making waves, and the offensive guys love him.
Yeah, Slick and I've had this debate already because I say don't let Canales get this defense to be like number 8 or 7, and the defense falls to 12 or 13, and that's where the organization might go, oh shit, hold on. And especially if there's no injuries on the defense, if Canales gets this offense to 6 or 7, and the Bucs offense and the Bucs team lose because more of the defense, there's going to be some hard choices where they go.
I don't see that happening ever, dude. If you're moving the ball and controlling the line of scrimmage on offense, the defense gets rested. You understand? So if they're not on the field that long, like they've been. I mean, last year they were on the field constantly, dude.
This is true, but the problem is in the first few series, Bowles sometimes has a history of trying to fill out a team too damn much, and then when the defense gets, let's be real, his cushion is his kryptonite. When he does too much cushion, it kills the defense. You know
that the offensive coordinator scripts the first few plays, right?
Hey, well, I hear that, but the defense
it's a fact. It's a fact.
Then. As a leader, Bowles got to change.
It's the first 5
yeah.
or the first series of plays is all scripted.
As a leader, he got to change that shit. He's got to go, look, we can't continue to give these people cushion because sometimes the Bucs defense finally tightens up, but here's the thing. It's 14-0 or it's 10-0, and now
you can't putting really more change that, man, because when you change it, a script is what the offensive coordinator hands you to fill out what the hell works and don't work. So if you go through that playlist, it lets the offensive coordinator know exactly what's working and what to throw out.
Yeah, but see, for me, I like to go, if I was Bowles, you have the team to be physical. Fuck doing, in the first few plays, make a quarterback sweat, because that's the problem with a lot of our defense in the past. Offenses knew how to work us in the first early plays. Okay, they're going to probably adjust to this, so let's make them work on this. But if you come out swinging now an offensive coordinator has to go, oh shit, we getting sacked on the first few plays. Oh, they're playing up in this way. And then that's when Bowles can switch it up then. Sometimes you can't fill them out too much. Go in there, swing first, and see what happens. Throw that haymaker and see if they get hit or not. That's all I'm saying. Bowles' issue sometimes is he gets too laxed, and then when he finally does settle in, but by then, now you're off. Especially if you know your offense isn't going to do anything. Now you got to play catch up. The Bucs can't afford to play catch up like they did the first 2 seasons when Brady was there, because we had offensive firepower.
Yeah, like you said, AJ, the defense needs to start. They need to dictate the game, not they can't wait for the offense to dictate the game. They got to now wait. They got to do it now. The defense has to dictate because
especially
they don't have
this season. This season, it's imperative. And Johnny, I think this defense is going to be fucking fire. I think with the rotational pieces, this Bucs defense should not be less than top 5, because Vita's going to finally have help with Canty. I believe in this defense. Trust me. If this defense can still be top 10, the Bucs defense are going to have to try to win the first 5 to 7 games. Of course, they're going to fall short, but the offense isn't going to, I don't see the offense being on point until week 11. That's being gracious. Realistically, probably 12 or 13, but week 11, I give the offense where they fire on full cylinders.
I want to address Sean on this. Do you think Baker can sustain an offensive drive? Dude, go back through the tape. Baker's best plays, his best play was with the Browns when they had Joe before he retired. Okay, after he retired, they kind of fell off. Baker's going to have worse than Cody Mock and Ryan Jensen in front of him out there, man. I think he's going to be comfortable. I think he will be comfortable.
I agree, John. And then again, Evans and Godwin. He's never had that. Don't talk to me about that Landry and OBJ shit. No, you got legit receivers. You can't lose. Them tight ends, you can't lose. And then we got the boy with the 4.3 speed from Nebraska, I think. He's just another Scotty Miller. You have the pieces. And Slick knows how I love my spread. I'm running that fucking spread to death. I'm gonna be like, word. And we got and you can do bootlegs with Baker. The problem last year, we knew with last year with Brady, if he had to move 2 inches to the left, we were screwed. Baker is the guy where he can, I can move. Boom. Now defenses, and then our run game is going to be a lot better. Canales, I guarantee you, I said this already. Rashad White's going to be 1,000-yard running back.
His last comment, man.
Yeah, I got it.
Why would you think Carson Wentz was the answer, Sean? That was not good. I'm sorry. Carson Wentz literally was that chick who was hot for like that one summer, and then she fell in love with the 7-Eleven and
I feel the energy from this season coming from not because the quarterback play or anything, but because the team we already had in place and the addition of a fucking OC. Just kind of like you with the enemy coming in, man.
Yeah, you have a piece where they're going to utilize the best abilities of their players and not the best abilities of their ego. We already seen how Leftwich was with the media, how he tried to make people feel stupid and undermine. When we're sitting here like, my man, like you literally do one play. I do that shit in Madden all the time. HB counter, HB dive. We know what you're going to do. And that's the thing. Canales, I think he's excited because, one, this is going to make him look good. If he can replicate what he did in Seattle to Tampa, my God. And look at the pieces here.
I'm going to say this, and this might cause a lot of problems, but I don't give a fuck.
Do you ever?
I think if, like last year, if somebody gave me the choice between Manning or Brady, I would have took Manning. Why? Because Manning is a better general. He's an offensive coordinator sitting behind the fucking center. I don't think Brady was that good offensive coordinating. I don't. We already heard about Bruce Arians coming in and looking at their playbook and going, "Oh shit, scratching shit out," you know?
Yeah, well, the difference between Brady and Manning. Brady has something you can't teach. Manning was a machine. Manning,
he was a student of the game.
Yeah,
Brady is too.
But not like Manning. Manning could dissect it. Manning was so ahead of his time. It was ridiculous. Oh, trust me. There are a lot of quarterbacks that were overall better than Brady. I could give you 5 already. And I've told people mechanically, Brady didn't have the best, but Brady had something that you can't teach in the game of football. He knew when to hit the right person. He knew when to evolve, and he knew when to improvise, and he knew when to go, oh, I see this person. You can't teach what Brady has. Just like you can't teach certain greatness. They adapt that. Manning, of course, a machine, but when it came to crunch time, if he had to change it up or when something wasn't going his way, he folded. Like Aaron. Aaron mechanically is one of the best, most talented quarterbacks. But when it was time to say, okay,
Aaron gives up.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't have the heart. He doesn't have the heart. Brady had heart. Brady was like, fuck it. I'm gonna go out. Brady said, if we're gonna, like Jordan, if we lose, it's because of me. You can't teach that. Manning is, well, we lost because of calculations.
Brady gets hit, and he folds too, dude. It's just a different way. He folds by he don't trust the line, so he's throwing the ball at somebody's feet.
Yeah,
Manning, you never saw Manning do that. Manning didn't fold and give up like that shit. Dude. Manning was a warrior out there, man. A broken neck. But when he field generaled that team to a Super Bowl, you know that.
Yeah, but when he fucks up, he fucks up. It was one of those, damn, Manning, like you didn't see that. If this was week 8, you would have killed that. But then when playoffs come around, and to be fair, Manning didn't have an overall great team the way that Brady did. Brady always had well-rounded teams. Manning didn't have the defense to sustain.
Coaching too had a lot to do with it. Brady had Bill. He had Bruce Arians. So he had 2 great coaches. Manning had Jim Mora to start out with. Wasn't that great? Then he had Dungy.
Playoffs.
Or the defense. Yeah, playoffs.
Playoffs.
Right.
That guy. That guy.
Caldwell, and he had John Fox, but I mean,
I think Fox. Somebody had to mention that guy's name.
John Fox. God, oh my God!
I give John Fox credit.
I think
he could draft. He could draft a team. He could put a team together, and then it wouldn't do shit until he left.
Exactly. Again, no, but you're right though. I agree with what you're saying. Manning didn't have, like I said, this is the full support. But look at that defense. Manning, the big people that he had on defense, but Dwight Freeney, he couldn't do it by himself. And Bob, I get injured every 5 days. Sanders. Bob Sanders literally was good for 2 games, and then that was it. He didn't have a full team. Isn't that the Dungy effect? Dungy was on a team with great defense, no offense. Yep. Then he went to Indiana, great offense, no fucking defense. It's just a gift and a curse. But back to Devin, we get your shit together, get your head out of your ass. You got some football to play.
How many Super Bowls did John Fox coach? 0, as far as I know. 2.
No, yeah, he was in 2 Super Bowls. He won 1. He's 1-1. His year with the Panthers, and then when they gave him that Super Bowl in Denver with that loaded ass team.
Oh, that's right. He was in Denver, wasn't he?
Yep,
I forgot all about that, dude. Oh man.
And who did he beat? Carolina.
Carolina. Yeah. You can't make this shit up. That was a wonderful story. But no, Devin, get it together. This Bucs team, they're going to be moving with or without you. I really hope you stay because you would be a great addition over the years to come. But I'm not giving you no $100 million. Slick already knows. I said this is my expectations. You want $100 million? I want 155 solo tackles. I want 13 sacks. I want 7 picks. 3 of them have to be pick sixes. I want 5 forced fumbles, and I want 6 fumble recoveries. That's your $100 million.
I think Devin's on the clock anyway, because for a simple reason, he was drafted to take that pressure off LVD, and he hasn't been able to do it.
No, that's what I'm saying. But if you want that kind of money, give me that kind of season. If he gives me that kind of season, let's be real. If he gets to that expectation that I just mentioned, we're all going to be like, oh, no.
He needs to have that green dot on his helmet and that fucking mic in his ear. You know what I mean? If he don't have that this coming season, then the writing's on the wall.
Oh, I feel you. No, I feel you. Or like we said, if he gets hot enough to where Slick, let me ask you this. Are you pulling the trigger? Let's say he's having a great game and the Bucs before the deadline are surprisingly 5-2 or some shit. And they say, look, we'll give you a second round and a player for Devin. Are you making that deal?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what Devin's backup's playing like.
Okay.
Like Johnny said that Bowles is in the hot seat. He's not going to throw away a player that is potentially going to keep him on top. So that's the only thing. I did want to mention one thing while we were all waffling. In terms of Savassier coming on, both Devin White and Levante David played 95% of the snaps. He's not going on the fucking field.
I love it. Slick.
Playing special teams. I don't give a fuck about no rotations. David, pretty much all the way through the season. I'd like to see Savassier do it.
Right.
He's going to have an immense preseason for them to go, oh my God, this guy is so good. We need to get rid of we need to get rid of.
They're not going to get rid of him for him. That I said that when I said he's got to be in rotation. You got to see the guy in rotation. If he's not in rotation, then he hasn't done anything.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear what you guys are saying. That is true. Thank you for pointing that out, Slick. 95%. Damn.
Well, Levante don't come off the field, man. Period. So.
I know. Oh well, we can't afford to have Levante off the field. Anytime Levante off the field.
Excuse me. Let me rephrase that. Devin White might not come off the field, but he takes his breaks. Levante don't take breaks.
No, I know, and that's why sometimes I worry for him because you can tell when he looks tired. But you're right. Bless his heart because he is not coming off that field. But when he does get off the field, man, the opposing team licks their chops. Oh shit, Lamonte's off the field. Hey,
he might come off the field more if he didn't have to be the general out there. If he didn't have to call the plays, call the defense, then he might be able to get a chance to come off the field. If he I'd love to see Levante just be able to go out there and play his fucking game.
Okay, well, that's a great question. I'll start with you, Slick. On defense, we've talked about this before, but let's break it down. On defense, who do you want as a rookie to come off hot and where you're like, damn, our veterans can actually rest because or don't have to go as hard because these guys are picking up the slack. Who do you want to see Slick do that?
From a rookie point of view, it's going to have to be Yaya because I'm not sold on any of the I'm not sold on any of the ends yet. Right. Shaq's not 100%, so we don't know he's going to be back day one. Anthony Nelson's probably the most consistent out of the lot. So if you can get someone, JTF, I don't even know what he's going to do. If he can figure out how to stop and change direction, maybe he might have a chance. At the moment,
he's got to quit being pushed up the fucking field and try that speed rush all the time. Learn some fucking moves, JTS. Come on.
But the thing is, if he learns how to control his body, he can be fucking deadly because his speed.
That's why he was drafted, because he's got that body type like JPP had and shit. They know what that's capable of. Just get him put into work. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's going to have to be Yaya just because of that. I would like to say Cathy, but I don't think they need to rush him just yet because they do have some depth there. They've still got Logan Hall. Who's the guy that we got? Is it Gaines? You got Gaines. Wow. And you got Vita Vea there. So it's not like it's a big push. And that's why I go with Yaya.
Okay. How about you, Ben?
I gotta agree with Slick with Diaby only because again with the Devin White situation we don't know yet. You got to have a plan B. And you got to have somebody ready in case Devin White does not come back. So that's who I would go with, Yaya Diaby. I would say Cansey, but we're already.
I think Cansey's going to be the biggest pleasant surprise this season,
and he could be, yeah. And so, yeah, I'm going to go Diaby, guys.
Okay.
Cansey's been working with Wirfs there, man. I'm not Wirfs. Vita, and Vita's really impressed with him. So there goes a little base with me if Vita's impressed with him, and they've been working side by side together for a while now in camp and in practice.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Cansey, and the reason why. Cansey eats, Vita feasts.
Right.
I say it again. If Cansey eats, Vita feasts. Because We know Vita's going to be Vita. That's what we can all in here agree. Vita's that guy. He's top 3 tackle of the league. If Kancey goes off, and Johnny, I hope you're right. If he goes the fuck off, God help the league. We can talk about. I can see Vita. Let's say
you guys are going to be shocked at this guy's speed when you see it in action.
I've seen him. Again, shout out to Cannon, James Cannon, who talked about him. But that's who I'm looking for. The trenches for the Bucs is where it's going to be at. If the trenches are solid and that run defense goes back to being what it was for the past couple of years, now the corners can have less pressure. Now the linebacking core can do what they need to do, and we know Winfield is going to be that guy. So it's going to be the defense being top 5 is what's going to put them there, and it's the trenches. Now, if they're average, if the trenches are average, the Bucs with the defense can still be at least top 10. But the trenches are top 5, hands down. So Kancey, I'm looking for a lot. That's just me.
I think he's going to surprise a lot of guys who haven't seen him on the field because I watch a lot of Pitt, man. I've seen a lot of this guy. Sean Spencer's seen a lot of this guy. Alex Loosemore's seen a lot of this guy. It's like, wait until that transitions, man. Wait until that transitions.
Do you see him making an immediate impact, or do you see him? Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Like I said, the only thing I went with Yaya was just here the fact that I can't 100% say who our starters are at those 2 linebacking position, at those 2 edge linebacking positions. I just can't. Whereas I could put somebody in Kancey's place and not and live to survive.
That's the beauty of Kancey. You can move him to end.
Well, he is an end.
I mean, on the edge because of his speed.
Body type.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. And then we still got to see what Logan Hall is going to be like. He might surprise us and improve this season. I hope so. Do you guys see him more? Would they use him more as an end or rotate him out with Vita?
I don't know.
For Logan Hall,
you have to rotate him.
This is a T. So he'll probably be able to play all 3 positions on the line. He'll be able to play both ends and then potentially help out in the middle. That's what he's listed as.
Yeah, Logan Hall, I think, will be more of a rotational player. You know, that's what I see right now. Just more of a rotational guy.
I knew you was going to say that, Sean.
What did Sean say?
He said our best rookie will be Cody Mock. He's so pissed that we got Cody Mock. He wanted him so bad.
The hell, I wanted the corner they got. Shit.
I wanted Dotson last year.
Oh,
man.
was it the man with Forbes?
Bad.
Yeah, I wanted Forbes. That dude, man.
Oh yeah, they got Forbes, didn't they?
I was pissed that they got Forbes. I was like, damn it, why we got? But hey, we got Kancey. The trenches where it matters because remember when people was shitting on us about getting Vita over Derwin James? Look how that's played out.
Yep.
Vita Vea is a Super Bowl champion and a top 3 guy.
Funny, man, is I still hear these Florida, and I'm a Florida State fan, right? Okay, I still hear a lot of these Florida State. Oh, we still should have got Derwin. I'm like, the fuck, man? Like, dude, we had
Vita has outplayed Derwin James by a mile.
Facts. Look, you got to play them the Frozen. Let it go. That's what you got to tell them. Let it go. Let that shit go. They not. Yeah. Look,
Sean, Daryl Green. That's all I got to say. Drop the mic. Boom. Shut up. I don't care how little Forbes is, man. If a guy can play, he can play.
Yeah. Only thing that's keeping Daryl from being the best of all time is prime time. That's it.
Yeah. I think of Daryl the edge because Daryl could tackle.
Nah, Daryl couldn't cover like Prime. That motherfucker Prime.
Shit, man. Come on. He was on Willie Galt every fucking game, and that's 2 track stars.
Hold on, we got defensive coach. We got defensive minds right here, Slick. Hold on, Slick.
Mm-hmm.
Dion. Okay, right now you got Jerry Rice out there and Calvin on the other side, and you need him to cover both. You giving it to Daryl or you giving it to Prime time?
Yeah, Prime. He can look like it's open and just be like, nope.
And Prime hurt your feelings. Prime talk. He got in your head mentally. You know it's bad when you got Jerry Rice wanting to
I
swing.
know plays that Primetime gave up because he wouldn't tackle or get physical with the player.
I feel you
Michael
on that.
Michael Irvin owned Primetime for a long time there because he wouldn't get physical with him.
Oh, I feel you. No, but at the same time, Prime's coverage was so extraordinary. It shot. We didn't care about the fact that Prime. Everybody knows Prime wasn't a big tackler, but he didn't need
Throw
to
some 50-50 balls up between Prime and Evans. I'm telling you, Evans will take the ball. That's what Irvin did to Prime all the time.
Look, you got me out here sounding. You got me out here talking like one of my ancestors. Woo, child! I can't. That would be a hell of a battle because, I don't know.
Darryl Green played Irving, Rice, Sterling Sharp, and some of the greatest greats and shut them down.
So did Dion.
So did Dion. And another thing, Dion
and Willie called, so you couldn't even put speed against him. And remember, Darryl Green was 4 inches shorter than Prime.
It's true, but this is prime time, man. Prime time was so damn good.
I know you're young. It's all about the prime, but Darryl Green was
no, trust me.
I hated Washington. I hated Washington.
I know about Darryl. Trust me, the man ran so hard he broke a rib. I know about that, but this is prime, man. Prime time.
Prime. That's okay. Sean's got number. That last comment by Sean, I'll go with that.
What'd he say?
If he needs an all-around player, I'll go with Prime Time. If he needs a corner that'll never give up, I'll go Darryl Green all day.
I mean, it's fucking Prime though, man. Like I like being from
the end zone. No, Prime Time.
I'm from Tampa, so and I'm a Gators fan, but everybody knew about Prime Time.
Yeah, I know. I lived through both generations, brother. I lived through
damn
both
straight. Look,
was on the show. Yeah.
Damn straight. I'm sorry, Ben. It's that Gator. But look, and but being from Florida, everybody fucked with Dion. You just had to. He was Dion. The baseball guy. He was what we thought Bo Jackson was going to be. Think about that. He lived the life that we thought Bo Jackson would live. So that's what I'm saying, man. I get what you're saying about Darryl. Don't get it twisted, because let's be real. Rondé Barber's a better tackler than Dion. There's a lot of people who were better tacklers, but you couldn't cover like Dion. Dion covered anybody. Again, he made Jerry Rice so frustrated. He wanted to swing on him, and they were on the same team.
Yeah.
And
what's Darryl Green's nickname?
It ain't better than Prime. That's all I know.
Darryl Green's nickname?
I don't know. It ain't better than Prime.
It's the Ageless Wonder.
Sometimes
he's called the Ageless Wonder for a reason. That man never slows down. I can't hear you, Slick. What's going on, man?
Darryl Green's a lot easier, but when you just say I'm Prime.
Look, we go out there right now. You go to the club and with women, the Ageless Wonder, they're gonna go, When you step in with Prime, my name's Prime. Oh shit. Prime will scare me on the field. If someone come on the field named Prime, I'm gonna go, oh shit. Ageless Wonder, I'm like, oh, he a pretty boy. Ageless Wonder, that's some shit that Brady was nicknamed.
All right, but go watch what I sent you, man. I just sent you something.
All right, bet. Hey, look, trust me, I've met Darryl Green. Nice guy too, very down there, because his son played at UVA, and bless his heart, he was never his son. He was never his father, but I've met Darryl Green is a hell of a guy.
I think Darryl Green won the fastest man in the NFL every year he enrolled in it, man.
Yeah, but that's after Prime left. Prime ran the fucking 4.3.
What year did Prime start?
89.
Darryl Green was in his prime in 84.
Yeah, I think Dion came out in 89, because I think that was the year that 89 draft was considered like the best football year, because it was Troy, Irvin, Dion. I could be completely wrong, but I think he was I thought he was 89. Because
right.
It's 89, right? It's 89, right? Because wasn't Charlie 89? I figured that.
Green was there from 83 to 03.
Oh no, don't get it twisted. I know about Darryl. My dad is a Redskin fan, so I had to watch it, so I knew. I was like, oh, Darryl Green was that guy. But
dude, every time they played the Bears, I got excited because I spent to see Willie Galton, Darryl Green go at 6'4" Willie Galton against little short ass Darryl Green. Supposed to both be track stars, and Darryl Green eat him up every time.
Hey, look, all I know is my dad he's Darryl Green diehard, but when it came to Prime, he was like,
excuse me, I was talking about Chicago, not Washington.
I know, but when Prime came up there, he was like, yo, that's Prime. That's where I get the thing that's from. That's Prime. That's Prime. And we got to deal with that. We have to deal with it, Johnny. It's Prime. You talking about defensive mind like Slick here, like he said, it's fucking Prime. Prime time.
Sean Spencer got it for you.
Where do you go to school? Where do you go to school?
Sean Spencer? America loves the guy that brags.
All I know is this: when he picked you off, he did this shit.
Yeah.
We ain't never seen no shit like that. Can you imagine as an opponent that would piss you? There it is.
Yeah.
And then look the way he talked, his accent. His Florida accent, number 5, guys.
What's the running back from the Detroit Lions? Barry Sanders. Yeah. How many times did you see Barry Sanders showing out like that?
Shit, he didn't have to. Barry.
Darryl Green didn't have to.
But here's the thing: Barry also didn't have a team to show out like that either. His team was butt sauce. So shit, I couldn't. Would you want to be on that team? He was. I guarantee you, Barry would walk into the end of the locker and be like, "All right, guys, y'all take care." When he get in that car, he's like, "Man, this fucking team sucks. I'm tired of doing all this shit. Get me a damn look." Barry and Calvin are literally Detroit owes them an apology. Tell Alex I mean that in the most loving way. I know he's a Detroit fan. I fuck with him, but he knows Detroit owes Calvin and Barry an apology.
They deserve better. Man.
They deserve better. Yeah. Barry and Calvin.
Give Barry credit now. Those are, like Sean just said, the early 90s Lions did get to NFC championships.
Yeah, they lost. Oh yeah, that's right. Wasn't Barry? Barry was a part of that '89 draft. Barry was a part of the '89 draft, I think. Mr. Oklahoma.
89 or 88?
I think it was 80. I think it was 89. Slick is that's
Sean, you need to jump in here, man. Give me some help.
No, Slick. I like when Slick looks at that screen to the left because that's what I know shit is about to be correct. He's like, oh yeah, we got to look this up right now. And with that,
I thought he was
that fire accent, he'd be like, that is completely wrong. Look, Slick, you got to start doing the Stephen A with the British accent. You are wrong, and here's why. And that shit would go viral. Be like, this is why you're wrong. Barry, I think Barry was 89, though. I do think he was 89. I think it was Barry. I think it was Dion, Irvin. I know Aikman definitely because everybody who was up here in the DMV reminded me of that shit all the time. Yeah, the only team he beat that first year was the Redskins, and that was a sign to come. I'm like, when they went 1-15 or some shit. I don't know. But yes, as you can see, Bucs fans, aftermath, we can talk about anything. It's always gonna circle back to the Bucs, though. So don't forget that. And look, again, for anybody who has questions or if you got comments, please bring them in. Always email or send a tweet to the Bucs if you got certain questions you want us to ask, or we talk about certain players because we're getting close.
King Cook's liking this shit. Look, he says Barry and Megatron both should have statues outside that stadium at this point.
Damn right they do.
I agree with that 100%. Man.
First of all, Calvin didn't have nobody to throw to his whole career. When he was in Georgia Tech, he had Reggie fucking Ball throwing the ball. How you got a last name like Ball and you couldn't ball out like it? Oh, damn. Calvin deserved better. Can you imagine if Calvin had a Tom Brady to throw to, throw to him? It wouldn't have been fair. Can you imagine if Peyton Manning had Calvin?
They had wait a minute. They had to have a team around them too,
Yes, I mean, for a little
Barry
bit,
and Calvin were kind of solo artists out there, man.
Well, they had to be.
Calvin had Stafford there for a while. Remember?
Stafford is a B to C average quarterback.
Stafford was a warrior out there.
Stafford was just a more better camera looking DeLone. That's it. They both just launched the shit and that was it. Both Delhomme and Stafford literally did this.
What's Stafford's
Save
stat?
my ass. They did it.
I always loved watching Stafford play.
Stafford was a lucky son bitch because damn, you got me talking like The Rock.
5 o'clock in the morning. So
yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we gotta shut this down. Yeah, we'll shut this down, guys. Thank you for your time.
Sorry,
but
dude.
no, you're fine. No, yeah, you're right. We look, but for Mike Evans, again, we talked about you for an hour. You're an elite, but we'll let this down. Thank you both so much for joining. Johnny, and you guys, please tell them where people can find you and what's your next plans. Johnny?
Well, the NFL edition will be on tomorrow night, and I don't know what time, so I can't tell you that right now. It's between 9:30 and 10:30.
Yes, sir.
And other than that, I have an entertainment review coming up soon. Don't know what that topic's going to be about this time, but it'll be out there.
Cool.
Maybe I'll get Ben to join me on that one too.
I got you. Thank you for that. Ben, how about you, man? What's the next plans, Ben?
Oh, hey. Okay, there I am. Yeah. So you can find me on my Twitter handle is BennyBoy702. I will be on the NFL edition tomorrow night with Johnny Dean, Alex Loosemore. He says between 9:30 and 10:30, but let's face it, they try to wait until I come on for as long as they possibly can. But I'm usually late because I have to work, So, and I also got a show called Have At It every Friday night where we talk about anything and everything. We just have at it, let loose. If you've seen one of these shows, you'll know why. It's on my YouTube channel at Ben Cornett 9015. That's Ben Cornett 9015. And I got a wrestling show every Monday nights. I know it kind of comes on at the same time as you and Slick there, AJ. It's called Face to Heels. It's a pro wrestling show with wrestling talk. It's on my YouTube channel as well. And also, I'm going to do I did a new show recently called Let's Buck with Ben. It's strictly Tampa Bay Buccaneers talk. So I'm probably going to do one in the next couple weeks. I've done 2 episodes so far, but as we get close to the season, we'll do Let's Buck with Ben more often during the season. So it's a seasonal show. So anyway, that's my YouTube channel is Ben Cornett 9015.
My man, thanks a lot, Ben. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ben. Much appreciated, brother.
Take care. And for me, guys, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna let good Slick get some rest. Slick, thank you for being a trooper because I know that was a long time. But again, you guys, you can always find me on my page. It's about bucking time. But and then also check out my link. I got good merchandise, as you can see, and I'm always out here representing. But again, thank you for your time, and we'll be back here again. Always go Bucs. Slick, take care of yourself, partner.
Take care of you, man. I'll see you soon. Okay, guys, that is the end of the show. I think it's got one that we've done that's a little bit longer than normal, but it's always good fun when we're talking. There's so much more to unpack. I think there was even more stuff that we had planned to talk about, but we just kind of get into a thing, and when you get into a room, you got to talk about it. So, guys, much appreciated. I don't know what time we'll be back. Hopefully, it will be Monday. It might not be. It might be Wednesday again. It depends on what's going on with football for me because I am balls deep in a season. So it's basically we got a big round of back-to-back games and just getting my scout and getting my corrections in before Wednesday's practice. So this is Thursday morning for me. So I got to try and get everything done before then, ideally. Sometimes film doesn't get uploaded until Tuesday. Then I can come and talk on this show on a Monday. So without further ado, Bucs on me, Bucs on 3. 1, 2, 3, go Bucs.